Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to remote learning. I hope you all are fine and enjoying your vacations. Students, this is 7th week and today is the first lesson of this week. This is grade 6 social studies. We are doing our history section. Today's chapter is the continuity of the previous one. Before this chapter, we started the chapters which included the struggle for freedom, the steps towards the independence. Now, this chapter will deal with the conditions and circumstances which came into way once the Pakistan came into being. So, students, for your reinforcement, I'm going to tell few points again. After the War of Independence, Muslims were kept deprived of their rights. They were not encouraged to learn and be educated. Most of the important seats within the subcontinents were occupied by the Hindus majority, as Muslims were thinking Britishers as their enemy. These all were studied in our previous lessons. So the people who motivated Muslims to be educated, among those Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was the top of the list. He not only opened the educational institutes but also encouraged the Muslims to make their relationships better with the Britishers and along with that be educated and civilized as well. Once the people are civilized, they know their own rights and they can use them properly without any influence. Moreover, the other leaders, they set up the political platforms for the people of subcontinent, and for an initiative Indian National Congress was formed. Later on, it was proved that it was a platform for the Hindus only and it worked for the right of them. So, with the passage of time, Muslim formed the Muslim League in 1906. Even then, most of the Muslims were not the part of it. So, very late, Qaid also joined it after 10 years of its came into being. Now, the role of independence, struggle for independence, depend upon all the Muslim leaders who were working in those days. Allama Iqbal, Maulana Shaukat Ali, Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar, Chaudhry Rahmat Ali, Nawab Mohsinul Mulk, and the other Muslim leaders were the top of the list. And even the ladies were not behind. We discussed the role about the role of the Muslim ladies during the struggle for independence. They were Begum Shahnawaz, Begum Rana Liaquat Ali Khan, Salma Tasadduq Hussain, and some others. So their role is in their own list, but it could not be kept behind the stories. It is a part of our history. Now, once the Pakistan came into being after the hard struggles, it was very difficult to run it as an independent state as it was facing the worst of the problems as soon as it came into being. The problems were administrative, the level of the industries which were there, they were almost nil. Moreover, most of the staff was not highly skilled and trained, so these were all problems and they were highlighted when the leaders like Qaid Muhammad Ali Jinnah died in 1948. Moreover, the first Prime Minister Liaquat Ali Khan was killed brutally in an attempt of murder during a procession in Rawalpindi. So, along with that, the political framework was changing day by day. Every year was adding another person instead of the other. So, this was a condition of political instability. Anyhow, the era of Ayub Khan was much better. as it was known as the decade of development. So here we will discuss today about the some strengths and weaknesses of Ayub Khan. So this is page number 96 of your reading book. Open your reading book, and this is a chapter number 19, Pakistan 1947 till 71 and beyond. Student, we have started this chapter during our last week, but we are going to finish it inshallah during this week. So let's start with the strengths and weaknesses of Ayub Khan era. The laws and order situation was improved. Rule of law restored. As I told you earlier, the politically and the investor point of view, the Pakistan was not in a state of stability. So everyone was not ready to invest. Even the foreigner investors were not interested because of the political and uh, social situation and less economic growth. So, family laws were reformed, remarkable expansion in the industry, which grew by 17%, establishing the industry's base for the country. So, this was the most important step. A base for the industrial development was provided by giving some relaxation to those who want to invest in this sector, and this resulted in the marked rise in the establishment of the industrial setups like small mills, factories, industrial areas. Similarly, when the industry was started and it started its growth, then marked rise in the export of the manufacturing goods were seen. So anyhow, the main political structure was stable during these 10 years. So that's why the policies were worked out. So there was no hurdles or hindrances in the implementation of laws and policies. So that's why this era was a little bit better than before. So as soon as it started, the industrial growth started once and export also increased. Similarly, they improve in the agriculture management, better seeds, fertilizer, mechanization, and water management increased in the agricultural output. As Pakistan is an industry is not an industrial country, basing it is relying for most of its expenses on the agriculture sector. So this sector also needed some improvement, which was done during that time, and it was the start of improvement of the agriculture sector basically. And this era was again the era of General Ayub Khan. So mainly the work was done on the better seed production, provision of fertilizer, and mechanical equipments like tractors and tools which were better than before, and water management and water channels they were increased so that the output of the agriculture sector might be increased. So Ayub Khan era was the era of industrial growth and agriculture sector also. In Pakistan was much better than that of the other Asian countries. But now the new prosperity was not equally shared by the nation. 22 families owned 66% of the industry and 80% of banking and 97% of the insurance. Industrial workers' wages fell by 12%. The benefit of agriculture were given mostly to the Punjab. New class of feudal lords were emerged. Landless peasants were in the worse position than before. So again, there were certain weaknesses which were highlighted with the passage of time, in which the small farmer was not getting any benefit and industry was running only in few hands, and only some families were getting in favor of it, and due to that the feudal lord system was emerging. So this was some about some important developments and weaknesses of the Ayub Khan era. So let's start with our question for today, that is, how do you think does the economic growth of a country get affected by the political situation? So the what example can you give to prove this? So the answer is, if the political situation is stable in the country, a country has better climate for investment, economic growth, new jobs, increase in revenues. So all above factors provide the incomes and spread powers by giving the authority to the local grassroots level. So this is all for today, boys and girls. This is your homework for today, and don't forget to submit it timely. And don't forget to read the page number 96 and 7 so that you may have a better reinforcement idea. Thank you very much. See you soon. Allah Hafiz.